is September 13th, 2025. Oh my god. After that last video, um, I've been having a hard time eating last few days. Stress. Okay. Alright. I had so many people around me saying stuff today, it wasn't even funny, about there at that courthouse, there better not have been any deputy involved with going down and calling her a liar. And she's not credible. They're trying to get the drug cartel released, I know. They're saying it's Judge Peter's group. What's his divorce attorney? Yeah. Two idiot girls look at me. Well, I told you, the sideshow of Carl's stepchildren, his second wives. See, they're a circus show. Everything's a con. It's the biggest con in the world. They just want his money. Where I have, oh God, a stack of checks that they had cleared the bank. We found out like one book of checks. There's probably 50, 60 grand. Where he got the big settlement when they first put the wells in around his property and then had to run a pipe through it. And then you only get like small little checks that are divided up among all the neighbors in that area. Okay? Well, here they gave him way too much money years ago, and we owe them still negative $66,000. Well, they took all his money. Okay? And that's not counting the cash. Went to the bank, had him printed off. Okay? Well, they told everybody they didn't take it. Well, like the banker said, the paper trail says they did. Well, his second wife, Brenda, just divorced her husband 6 months before Carl. So Deb's a grown woman, married, 26 years old, living with her husband now, okay, and has children. She had a father the whole time growing up, okay? Her mom and dad just divorced when she's 26, 25 or 26. Well, it had been 6 months where she met Carl. So Carl, she already had a real father. That's where Veronica come from later on, her sister and then her brother Lester. They're not immaculate conceptions. And she went in that courtroom crying that she never had a father figure in her life until Carl. It was so dramatic that she couldn't see him. So devastated. They wanted his money. She made up a lie. He has millions of dollars. He has $6,000 left in his savings. $1,400 in his checking. When we pay the bills, it won't be that much. Get the idea? That's where this whole thing of believing the big lie is Gary Audrey, his real daughter's husband, said it's making up a big lie and then believing it. It's a big lie thing going on here. They made up that he has millions. He don't have millions. He has $6,000. The $300,000 they already took, pulled it out of him. Had to pay taxes on it. Da 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 da. Brenda died. Had to pay for the funeral. Headstone. Taxes again. Property taxes on that farm. Then the feed and care for the horse and everything else. And those 3 kids drained him pretty much dry. And even after she died. What she didn't give him in, we're not even talking cash. I witnessed $6,000. 4,000 for Deb bowling it at him. So the FBI and police got him for that. And then 1,300 for Veronica's diet shots. And 700 for a washer she never bought. That's $6,000 right there. Within a matter of a couple months, they were draining that man dry. Okay? Well, the well stopped. It's empty. He told them he was out of money. They already got it. They call him a liar. They think it's endless of 3,000 all the time. 300,000. No, it was a one-time deal, and then they overpaid him. And he told him we owe the oil company money. Of course, we're supposed to be a liar. Even if we had the paperwork showing, They don't care. Because everybody's a liar with them. And they're a sign show. Her in there crying her eyes out, lying. Not like a lady investigator said. We always knew Deb. Everybody knows Deb had a real father. Grew up in a home with a real father. She had already married, living on her own with her husband, and had children of her own. And so why is she so distraught about her mother's second husband? Saying that's her only daddy. Why is she? Then it said the investigators thought they were having an affair because she was a grown woman behind Brenda's back. And then Brenda pulling that stunt right before we leave. We're sitting down, walk up to Carl, gets a hold of him. Now, Deb is 6 foot something tall. She's 300 to 350 pounds. Built like a quarterback man, football player. Walks like one. Has her hair cut off like a man and no teeth. It was like a man molesting my husband. It's funny to say, but it's not. I wanted to vomit for 2 days. Grabbed a hold of him, started French kissing him. Yeah, and making noises. I'm like, Carl. Yeah. And he's just sitting there and she's French kissing him in front of me. And won't quit. And I'm like, Carl. Yeah. And I'm like, Carl. And then she feels him all up and down on his chest. I'm like, Carl? See, they said after that passionate kiss, they think they're having an affair, and he's afraid to tell me because I'll leave him. Oh, in a heartbeat, they're having an affair. And her, instead, if it's just not her being a bitch and trying to give the illusion of them having an affair. Think I'll put up with that shit? She's built and ugly as a man, an ugly man, molesting my husband, yeah. I'm turning her over to Adult Protective Services, that there's such sleazebags that she's even sexually coming at her stepfather, trying to manipulate him for money. See what I mean? And he did it in a courthouse. See, that's where investigators have wondered. And then that Lester going in there saying, Carl told the judge he's afraid of him. That years ago when his mother was alive, he called her some bad word, that Lester called him some bad words, and he told him not to call his mother that. He backed him in the corner and was beating him. It was a fight for his life. And he said adrenaline kicked in and he got a hold of his throat. It's the only thing that saved his life. And he squeezed till he couldn't breathe, and then he walked off choking. He said, or he would have killed me that night just for telling him not to swear at his mother. He's mad at me. He gets a hold of me. He'll kill me. He said, I was so scared. I swore on myself. I never want to see him again. I'm scared for my life. Him threatening to kill me and my new wife. I don't want him around me. You have a right to say that. You don't have to let anybody near you. Not even handicapped people. They have a right to say they don't want anybody near them. You have a right to be safe and secure within your own person. Fourth Amendment. And that Bubs Karen comes in. She's 95, 100 pounds, twig. They're both drug addicts and alcoholics. Okay? His liver, like a third of it's already damaged. He's having heart problems because he drinks 12 beers a day. Big ones. Said he don't like to drink water. Gets a buzz off. Get the idea? They're the people trying to rob my husband and have been robbing him. Drug addicts and drunks. Okay? So, that Karen comes in. They make up so many lies. They said, they're talking about me. Said, we never asked for money off of Carl for money in June. Yes, they did. And Carl said no more after what Deb did with the $4,000, screaming at him and yelling at him till he was in tears. And he said, she said, well, actually, we did. We asked for money. But his Karen swore at me. And Bub had to hold me back because I was going to beat her. Or I was going to get her. Yeah, hold me back. Showing how dangerous she is that she attacked me. Made up the whole scenario that she was going to attack me. Get the idea? It's just a sideshow. Never happened. For one thing. And then I have, with the FBI case, the police that watch me and the agents, I have lived through hell. And if they think I need cheered up a little bit, they'll say something silly when they walk by. Just like in 19, when I drove up to Medina, they encased me because I was almost shot in the head driving. The shooting, I bashed in the back of the head, facing 6 stalkers. So when I went out, they encased me. Okay? Well, 2 of the officers walk in on Walmart Medina and said, "Were you speeding? Were you speeding?" I didn't see anything. Then I didn't see anything. Then walk off laughing. I thought, yes, you were speeding. You were ahead of me. Okay? But they do that. So 2 of them show up and said, "That girl thought she was going to be our Karen. Our Karen's a lot bigger. She would have killed her." I would have never killed anybody. But if she's about this, she's 95 pounds. I don't, got like at least 50 pounds on her. I would at least knocked her down like a deranged 12-year-old threatened to hurt people and sat on her until the cops got there. Some of the officers showed up and said, "I heard one of Carl's stepchildren was threatening to hurt our sweet Karen. We never had anybody thank us for helping watch them and help protect them. Our sweet Karen told us how much she appreciated all of us, and all of us don't mind keeping an eye on her because that's our sweet Karen." See, that's how the cops and the feds that watch me. I lived through such horror. I used to get home at night and I would cry. And I know the police can hear me. And it's like, thank you guys for being there today. And I would thank them. I wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for you. You have my heartfelt gratitude. And I would thank them at night. Like they said, they have it set up. The police can hear me anywhere I'm at. Okay. But this whole thing, now Carl's one side of the face look a little swollen. I'm hoping it's just some kind of skin allergy. Otherwise, I'll end up taking him to snack hair. But with Deb French kissing him, hopefully she didn't have some kind of bacteria in her mouth. I haven't let him kiss me. I looked for 2 days. I couldn't even look at him. I said, "All I can see is Deb all over you. Don't even look at me. It makes me nauseous." I have been hardly able to eat for days. And the thought, if he is actually having an affair with her, yeah, I won't tolerate him having an affair with a 6 foot, 350-pound woman that's his stepdaughter. I doubt it. I'm sure it was just a scene to make me mad. But it was still disgusting. And we will go to Adult Protective Services that they are such sleazeballs doing this. They are not his children. They are his second wives. Just like Bob. He had a father in the house till 6 months before Carl showed up. And he was, what, at least 12? And Deb being 26, she probably took him over to see their dad, and Veronica was older. They have a real dad, and they knew him and had a relationship with him. See, that's where they tell lies like Deb's dad died before she was born. She never had a father. Well, where did Veronica and Lester come from? They're all Mr. Blue's children. Get the idea? And he was in the house married to Brenda till 6 months before Carl. Get the idea? They lie. They can't keep their story straight. And that corrupt judge, those people lied. Now, I moved in with Carl in June of 24. We had already been friends for a couple years. And that's where they even lied to that judge that I moved in on September 11th, 23 when Brenda died. On the night she died, went over and had sex with him, all kinds of crazy crap. And that never happened. They lied to the judge that Carl bought my son Danny a truck. My son Danny has a good factory job, and his wife is a district manager over in a fast food chain. They make big money. They find Brenda's children disgusting. He never bought Danny anything. They just lied and lied. And they tried to say Carl bought my car. My car that I drive now. Well, we're man and wife. If they bought me a car, it's none of their damn business. But like Carl said, Karen got a dog bite settlement. She put the down payment on that car. And there's payments being made. It's Karen's car. See, they wanted my car. See, I get to the point you want to be smart and look back. Why do you want to make the payments on my car? There's all these Ford dealerships. Go buy your own. They're just thieves. See, that's where the whole thing is a con and they're thieves. This whole thing is. It's all a big scam. And Bob and that judge saying that those people should be around him. They are his children. No, they're his stepchildren. They're his stepchildren. And like our attorney said, I've never seen such a circus show and a sideshow of people not being able to keep their stories straight, blatantly lying. They were lying so bad they were laughing in that judge's face. It was a sideshow. And when I walked out, now the Tuscarawas County Courthouse of September 10th, 25 will have cameras everywhere. My phone is bugged by the FBI and that corrupt judge saying they came down here and said she's such a big liar. And nothing she said was credible. And everyone's to get even with her. So she's going to let my husband die and these people kill him and rob him blind. You're going to get even with me and let somebody kill somebody? And then, under Google, if a police officer ever insults an FBI informant, these are federal charges and their credibility. They are to be arrested for obstruction of justice, tampering with a witness, tampering with evidence, and aiding and abetting crimes. Where a Camp police officer had told me any officer gets caught insulting you, Karen, with that open FBI case, all the people they got off of it and all the evidence, they will get in so much trouble. It's like 20 years to life. See, that's where people showed up. They better make sure there was no deputies actually in that courthouse bad-mouthing her. Well, they're saying it's Judge Peters Group from Florida. Melissa's divorce attorney. What you gotta think? Okay, then I walk by and there's some guy behind a closed door saying, I had the right to know what I was up against and what I was facing. She's divorcing my son? So you had to take John's mother out? They thought that's where they said Melissa's divorce attorney thought they had to take John's mom out so she couldn't help John during the divorce. So Melissa get everything. Okay, I want you to think about this. Melissa's divorce attorney cannot touch John's mom. Had me drugged with hypnotic drugs, drugged up and told to say sick stuff I found out, where I'd take a drink out of a drink, the room would go dizzy and black, or I'd wake up with bruises, throwing up, heart racing, severely infected, almost passing out, where they were using hypnotic drugs on me. Had me being raped under it. Told you I only have 3 weird memories. The sound of footsteps, a white man's arm with a white dress shirt, gray pinstripes, and a syringe coming at me in the room going dark. Feeling like my back's being ripped to my chest. And I can't see, I can't breathe, and screaming in agony. All I can hear is the wails of my screams. I thought they were nightmares. I would come in from working outside, wash my hands, make something to eat and drink, and so 2-liter Diet Coke into a cup. Go in and go to the bathroom, wash my hands, better come out, take a drink in the room, and go dizzy and black. Okay? And then the same thing. And I thought the well water was giving me cancer. I thought it was killing me. I only had family, installation guys, repair guys. 2 silly officers on August 8 of 18 came out at midnight with a light in the outside security system. Said it looked like an alien orb or an angry spirit, and told me to buy a dog and let a dog handle it. They didn't want bothered. Okay? I never had even my neighbors in my home. If they wouldn't have said they were hurting me, I thought it was the well water giving me cancer. I knew nothing. They had me so drugged up that bad. Hypnotic drugs does cause the metal taste in your mouth, and it does give you amnesia. August 4th, 25, they admitted it. That's what they used on me when they drugged me and told me to say it before. That's why I have no memory. August 5th, 25, Dutch Valley Restaurant. Some girl said as if Agent John didn't know they used hypnotic drugs when they drugged her and told her to say it before. He was telling people he knew she was being drugged, being raped before the case started. He even let them torture her. Is he some kind of coward? August 7th, 25, they said at Walmart 62, they have these people taped calling Agent John a coward and admitting again to drugging me and telling me to say it before and using hypnotic drugs on me when they did it. That's why I have no memory. They have them taped. August 28th, 25, up in Macy's and Summit Mall upstairs, some guy answers the phone. It is documented, verified they use the hypnotic drugs. She has no memory of what those people did to her before. And they used the hypnotic drugs when they drugged her and told her to say it before. Nobody say a word. Some other guys were up there saying that says she had a metal taste in her mouth. They used hypnotic drugs. She has no memory. Other ones saying there's tapes of them calling Agent John a coward. Okay, then some lady saying it downstairs. Nobody say a word to her. She has no memory of those people. Do you realize what we look like to her? Insane bastards. Insane bastards. Okay? Okay. Some guy showed up yesterday. Said get August 27th, 25. I emailed the CIA. And apparently it's getting a hold of quite a few people. They want those saved. Some guy walked out, I got it. Where the investigator said that they got them admitting to using hypnotic drugs when they drugged me and told me to say it before. And calling Agent John a coward. They have been bragging they are trying to get the case thrown out. See, in 18, in front of the cops and the feds, they walked up to me. If you tell anything on us, we'll list you a liar. You try to tell on us, we'll tell everybody nothing you say is credible. We'll ruin your reputation until you can't testify against us in court. Okay? They had a way out. Okay? See, where they've been asking why are they calling Agent John a coward? They want to even ruin him that he's not credible. See, if they can get a police officer to call me a liar, she's not credible, then an attorney can pull him into court. You said this person was a liar, not credible, so the case is fraud. You can't use fraud or fraud surveillance. And they said Melissa's attorney, where they went to take me out, trying to make sure Melissa got everything, and then that Dave hired that some guy named Pete on his own, got the cartel involved. Make sure Dave got everything. Now Melissa's divorce attorney is going after the FBI case. He wants the drug cartel released. And no one arrested off this. Again, thousands of human traffickers will be released back into Ohio and across the United States. Serial killers released back into society by the thousands. People need to start realizing how serious this is. Because if the case is fraud, everybody they got on it walks. See, the credibility of the case, that's why they can never insult an informant. Because it demeans the incredible credibility of the case. That's where that Canton police officer said they get in a lot of trouble. Like 20 to life. Get the idea? See, that's where you look at where they said Melissa's divorce attorney thought they had to take John's mom out. I was a 51-year-old fat white woman in a skirt. And you are afraid of me? What are you afraid of a 51-year-old fat woman in a skirt? Are you pathetic? And you thought you had to take a 51-year-old fat woman in a skirt out? It's not like I'm Chuck Norris. There's nothing to be afraid of with that. See, that's where this whole thing, where Melissa and John go to divorce, they had been married so many years. They had broke up so many times. You know what I would have done? Make sure both parents get custody. Shared custody. The kids need both parents. Been married so long, you get the emotions out. You can work out the other parts on your own, but make sure the kids both have both parents. Keep the kids out of it. You've been married so long, you need to basically grow up. You know, see, that's where I wasn't a threat. See, as long as you don't try to hurt my kid, then the mama bear comes out. I will find every legal law that I can get you with. Carl's one friend, she's 93 years old. She's to run a trucking company, talks like a trucker. She's funny, feisty as hell. She laughed. She said she was probably the only parent on the parents committee in high school that had assault and battery charges. She said her daughter was working at this grocery store and this lady came up and was mean to her and made her cry. She came home crying. Joy went and found her. Got in her face and was telling her off for making her baby cry. That lady made the biggest mistake and started poking her in the chest. She said, before I knew it, my fist came up from the ground and I punched that bitch. Then I jumped on her and all I seen was my arms flying. She said, and the next thing I knew, I felt somebody lifting me and someone grabbing my arm and saying, Miss Joy, you have to cut it out or I'll have to arrest you. And it was one of the sheriffs grabbing me off of her while I was beating her. Talk about mama bear. Oh my God. She said it got thrown out because that girl was poking me. She touched me first. She tried to have me arrested. She was poking me. I was telling her to leave my kid alone, and she started poking me. Before I knew it, she was beating the girl. Oh, she's funny. She's feisty as hell. I was telling her about Brenda's children. She's like, Karen, bring them over. I'll take care of them. I'm 93. They wouldn't arrest me. What are they going to say? Miss Joy beat you? She said, I do have my walker. I said the sideshow, absolute sideshow of those people. Sideshow. Sideshow of those people. And the only one is money. It's my ATM's leaving. They don't want him. He's not their father. And my daddy raised a good man. Oh my God. Carl didn't raise him. Mr. Blue did. Okay, another thing, and you need to find out who was in that Tuscarawas courthouse. Who talked to that judge. And you should have Melissa's divorce attorney in there, behind that door. And who's tampering with an FBI case to get the drug cartel released. And I'm telling you, we're at Faith Family Church, the Florida drug cartel said they work for Judge Peters. They were from Florida. That's where the deranged Santa Claus showed up, said he was Judge Pete from the Ravenna courthouse, friends with Ludic, let him get away with crimes. He's just a Florida drug cartel dealer. There was ones impersonating the Portage County Sheriff's, helping them get away with crimes, and the fake FBI agent that tortured me, selling the login. It's the Florida drug cartel. They're trying to get Judge Peters released in Florida, the cartel, and then all the cartel that was arrested. My friend Maddie on January 20th, 23. There were several cartels involved in this because they were attacking Ohio. And the Kingsman from Texas, where they showed up for, we all work for the King from Texas. We are his men. Dave hired us. He's a drug lord. If you look him up, he's U.S. military, Iraqi translator, went into the dark web, malware, fentanyl king. That's where the Middle Eastern people showed up, the Muslim, are talking about the king. He's very real. They're all after him. Everybody's after that group. Found out through a retired CIA agent they had killed agents. Okay. That's what she told me, and they're all after him. I've heard law enforcement say they're all after him. Okay. Maddie's friend, on January 20th, 23, I go out to Worcester. All these men come in, and they sit down, and Matt said, I have a friend on the police department, knew about the case that agent opened with you. He lives 2.5 hours away. Okay. They knew about the Texas group involved in your case. I'm like, the Kingsmen? Because that's what I call them, because if you're the men that work for the king. So I named him. And then we went through different things, and then he drills me until I'm stuttering. Well, before that, some man over the corner, he's complaining because I'm sitting in the sea of men, and I'm sitting with Matt. She's sitting over there with him, and I'm over here. Matt's like, who's that? I said, I don't know. Kept saying it. I said, who is that? I don't know. I want to say he's riffraff. Leave him alone. He kept saying it, and then older couple came in and were saying it too, and I went to leave, and they said, we're going to tell Harry she's sitting with another man. He said, who is those people? I said, I don't know. I go to walk outside, and those men follow me out where the U.S. Marshals were going to take care of this, where Maddie said the police are going to use that case that agent opened with you to get these drug traders, human trafficking people. He brought the marshal. Well, and they announced they're going to take care of him. 3 weeks later, they did an 800 people sweep, and then they did another, 250 in Ohio, another 125. Thousands of drug cartel, and then different cartels that helped out with the bullying and the scam showed up. They got surveillance of them. See, that's where you cannot insult the informant. You insult the informant that she's a liar, she's not credible, then all the tapes are lies and not credible. So everyone that got arrested off this, they cannot be arrested on fraud. It's a technicality. They're trying to get everybody off. You do not want where, what was it, 2 or 3 years ago, 6,000 people got human trafficked out of Ohio. Hundreds are still missing. They didn't get back. If people forget in, 2020 or 22, before they started going Nazi on the cartel, I think it was on Google, 500,000 people got human trafficked across the United States. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of people missing still. They're dead. That serial killers, that they have worked endlessly to get information on them, their whereabouts, they saved hundreds of people. They will be released back into society. See, you can never insult the informant. It's right on Google. Any police get caught insulting any kind of credibility or an FBI informant, they will be arrested for obstruction to justice, tampering with a witness, tampering with evidence, and aiding and abetting crimes. Because then you insult the integrity that the case is fraud, and then the criminals can walk. See what they're doing? And that's where people walk around. They already told everyone, no one is to ever insult her. They're trying to get the drug cartel released. See, that's where I go up into Akron last year. Karen's Well's still open. We all know it's part of the nationwide human trafficking scam. They got all this My God, Agent John, you asked me to get you information on Dave in the churches. got you drug cartels, drug lords. Dear God, and you telling on me for calling the FBI hotline? Before you talked to me and confessed you met with that family in their office, the one that her father murdered her kid? And all those church people were already in your office, already knew I called the FBI, made fun of me because you knew they were trying to kill me, laughing at me like a crazy person, laughing at me about some guy named Pete running a scam on me. I still don't know who he is. And then something about a dirty doctor scam. And I had no idea, still don't know who you're talking about. It's a big scam they're pulling here in Ohio. I'm not the only one they're pulling it on. And how I didn't know, made me beg for my life. Sounded like a loon, then list me informant with money and immunity, then threaten me if I told, but you've already talked to everybody, had people in your office and everything, and seen telling on me the night before to hundreds for calling the FBI, and that you've already told everybody. It's documented and verified you told everyone before you talked to me, and then you confessed on a recorded line. And then being an agent, you're a higher police officer, you don't have the authority to ask people to stay quiet. It's the First Amendment. It takes a judge in a jury trial. Criminal attorney, prosecutor's office, and police. It's the First Amendment. And then you've already told, then it makes it stupid. But you were dealing with a lot of stupid people, scamming them. That you were just going to feed me back to them and not care. But you opened a real case with statements, and it was a drug cartel. They said one of the people with those church people when you walked in the office was cartel, and you recognized them. You scammed them. I'd like my money. Okay. I earned a medical card. Where you could also pay for room and board. That would be housing. Be real nice. You get me a nice place to stay. Because why would you stay quiet if you've already met with everyone? That's stupid. Everybody already knew. Even Dave told Danny that he talked to you up at that church when I walked off the night before he talked to me. He actually met you in person. Okay. What? See, that's where Carl's son Rick, over this damn farm he owns, threatened to kidnap Carl and me, take us out to Youngstown, that they have it set up there, that some attorney is going to have somebody write up Carl and me as incompetent, throw Carl in a nursing home, and have everything signed over from both of us to Carl's son, Rick. See, in my case, they said that they had an attorney having a doctor that's not one of my write-ups. She's incompetent or insane, and then signed over them. It's a scam they're running on people in Ohio. And apparently Youngstown is a dumping ground. Carl's son Rick actually said it to Audrey, his daughter. I had to write it up, notarize it, send it to the sheriffs, along with all the checks that went through the bank for Carl's stepchildren that took, that's only out of one checkbook, 60 grand. It's not even funny how much they robbed him. I am horrified of what's been happening. And trying to get, it's a shame. Even the attorney afterwards, after that judge was so evil towards you, and allowing that circus show and sideshow go on in her courtroom and didn't stop it. I know you just moved to Tuscarawas County. I know you got a beautiful place to live. You need to get out of here as fast as possible. That where Audrey said, there was a corrupt judge in Sebring, that judge got arrested. That one needs arrested. Because they have a judge saying an FBI informant is a liar and not credible. That's what they're trying to do. See what I mean? You can never insult an FBI informant. See, that's where it's ridiculous. People run around trying to act like they're getting evidence on me. I'm in immunity from the government. What are you doing? I can't be processed. See, that's where the whole thing of it is. You got all this on Melissa's a divorce attorney. You need to get him. And matter of fact, I think you ought to turn him over to the CIA. You want to know where the king is from Texas? The CIA will make him sing in 30 minutes. Couple waterboarding treatments, he'll give him up, helping a foreign terrorist. Around January 25th, 2019, in a legally bugged house in the evening, some guy had, well, first one guy showed up and said the police always knew she's innocent and innocent before. They were talking about it at the station. Some guy was bailing this guy out from team, offered to pay my fine or bail, and da 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 da. Well, later on, some guy shows up. Now I'm crying in my room. I got a gun laying next to me. I'm so scared. Because they said on the gunshot night, right, on Christmas Eve of 2018, the next time they show up, they'd kill me. Take care of me once and for all. So I heard a scuffle and said, some guy said he bought me for 25 grand. He wanted me. Now, I'm not one bit racist at all, but I don't care what color your skin is. It's wrong to buy a human being, and I wasn't going with nobody. Said that he bought me for 25 grand. He wanted me to pay good money. He's arguing with the cartel. Dave's in the middle. Dave said something smart about being African American. I don't care what color your skin is. I'm not going with nobody, and it's wrong to buy someone. And they wouldn't let him have me. They weren't done with me yet. And then they talked about a Harry buying me. Well, on January 20th, 23, when those people walked out, they were going to tell Harry I was sitting with another man. They even heard him say something about some guy named Harry. Today, some guy walked by. Now, they have been acting like some other guy bought me. Okay? They've been doing it for a while. And they walk by. Now, I don't think they're funny doing this. It's very unsettling. We're not going to scare the daylights out of me saying that kind of crap anymore. We used to scare the daylights out of me. Said that some guy was trying to say that I only married Carl because I felt sorry for him, and she can hardly eat after that idiot made out with his stepdaughter in the courthouse in front of her. And the guy said, I'm not paying for this much longer, and I'm not waiting for her much longer. See, that's where they've acted like they sold me to a couple people over the years. I don't think it's funny. Now, the human traffickers did grab several 50 and 60-year-old women, and they were acting like they were doing some kind of weird mail order bride in front of the FBI and police, and they knew they were doing it. And so I don't think it's funny. I had two idiot girls turn around and say something to me in the mall about Bubs Karen saying she was going to come across and beat me, and then those investigators making that joke trying to make me laugh. And said some guy was paying people to come down and say how fat, old, and ugly she is. And da-da-da-da-da. What kind of piece of shit? And what kind of piece of shit pays men to make fun of a drugged up rape victim that almost died to save her family and help the government get thousands of people? A human trafficker? And so your cartel too? Went down to Carrollton after the mall. Some girl was outside, walked by. I got a hold of my dad. I had already told these people to stop saying stuff to her. He has us help keep an eye on her because when those people get around and she's so scared of them, she can't even scream. And that way we can call for help if we have to. See what I have to live in? I've lived in this hell and chaos for 7 years, Agent John. Well, you got cartel. They've called you a coward. They have made up the rumors you opened the case just to steal from the government. The whole case is fraud. They're trying to get all those human traffickers released. It's just Melissa's divorce attorney in it with the drug cartel and some guy named Pete Dave hired on his own. Had all this, brought the cartel into this. The big bad cartel, and they ran the biggest scam here. But you got so much on police surveillance. A letter of thank you would be nice. My money, medical card. Oh, and where you can add living and housing expenses, that'd be nice. And we all know you cannot withhold or misdirect the money. That is illegal. That is theft. And you don't have the authority to ask people to stay quiet. I've talked to all kinds of police. Even my friend Grant talked to an FBI agent. You don't. It takes a judge and a jury trial. But someone needs to talk to that corrupt judge to find out who told her that. Get surveillance of him. And I can guarantee they're probably not the Portage County Sheriffs because they would know better. Interfering in an FBI case. That could be 20 to life. And aiding and abetting cartel to be released. It's Judge Peters Group from Florida. They're trying to get the cartel released on a scam. That's it. Where they impersonated him before. And Melissa's divorce attorney and that guy Pete realize who's scamming you.